everyone. Welcome to Riddle Exam, a podcast by Riddle Samaya Vidyadhyamani University, where we break barriers between vision and reality. Our today's topic is research, the backbone of innovation and something that keeps the pulse going in Riddle as well. And when was the last time you read a research paper or explored a prototype and you felt that yes, this could change the world? Well, we have to take someone for you guys, someone who is into that woman, Dr. Himali Gupta. So her work lies at the intersection of startup incubation, entrepreneurship research, and corporate innovation. So, Himanidhi ma'am, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Soumya. And I really appreciate the initiatives that are being done by Riddle Ignite.
So let's start with the questions. Yes. So you have such a rich background from a PhD in entrepreneurship, mainly focused on equity distribution and team dynamics, to now leading CSR at Riddle and also taking part of the training initiatives at Riddle. So how would you describe your journey up until now?
So, thank you so much for this question, Soumya. I think it's very important you understand from what background you come. As far as research is concerned, so right from learning ABC from your nursery to your doctoral studies to your different to your offices also, it's very important that what exactly you learned in your education, in your through your literature and all, and how you're applying it to the corporate world, to your offices, or to practically how you're applying. So my work throughout my journey has been into the teaching, into the startup where I work with the startup, then into the research work where I evaluated almost 98 startups, how they work within themselves and how their teams work within their small teams are there and how they work together, and then applying those things into the work that I'm doing presently. So this has given me some kind of perceptions and some kind of literature support and the practical support where I could understand what exactly is happening within the startup and and how my literature can support that thing. So it's like this journey has been very fascinating, and I've applied this kind of approach to learn more from the startups, by working with them, by making more theoretical and literature reviews kind of thing through the startup world. So that.
So for now, today's episode, we are going to look into research, but we are going to diverse it into two topics, two perspectives. We are going to look at research, one is student's perspective, and the other one is startup or business entrepreneurship perspective. So first, when we look at student perspective, how do you think from your experience a student can leverage their internships, projects, or any even ideas into meaningful research that eventually into patents and monetize them, and then to actually derive corporate, innovation?
So you're talking about students' perspective and from the startup perspective.
Yeah, first the student.
So from the students' perspective, it's very important to understand whatever project that they are taking. It should be clear in their mind. There should be clarity and the consistency also. There should be clarity in their mind that whatever the project they are working on, why they are working on it, what is the reason behind that? Is that they are solving some issues, they are solving some problems? So that things that needs to be clear in the mind of the students, right? So nowadays, what I have seen in the academics world, students just go for the projects because they have to do a checkmate kind of thing.
Yeah,
okay, they have a checklist, right? Because we have to do the project, it's mandatory to do the project, so that's why we are doing it. But it should not be like that. So when your perception from just doing a checklist thing, from that thing, if you are going to add on some kind of some other things that is going to change somebody's life, that is going to change the system around, that is going to develop something. If that is the approach of the student, then I think it will be a opportunity for the student, for the institute, and for the country also, where more of the innovations and more of the research related projects can be worked on. Okay, and just adding to that, because it's very important. So, for example, at Riddle, there are many students who come over there for doing project-based learning. So we call it as PBL. And there are many students who come up for the pre-incubation programs also. So in project-based learning, students, they come up with some very interesting ideas. And we as a reader team, we evaluate their ideas, that whether these ideas have some kind of potential or some kind of caliber, where these ideas can be taken ahead to some innovation or not. Or that innovation can also lead to some kind of, that can be put it into the market where they can develop into the business or something like that. So I think that kind of support is given by the riddle there. So from startup perspective also, when startups came up with the idea, so they also come up with some kind of basic idea, right? So that we want to develop this idea into a business. And we as an evaluator, so we have to evaluate whether this startup idea will work in the market or not, right? Because sometimes there are, so even I'm sitting over here, I'll get so many ideas, hundreds of ideas will come into my mind. Okay, I want to develop this, I want to develop that, I want to invent this, right? So I have created some, I have seen that people face this kind of problem, I want to work on this. But those, will that ideas have some kind of potential that can be taken to the market or not? Then we have to take it. Right?
Yeah, that seems feasible and actually are able to the learn more.
Correct. So that we have to see. So as an incubator, as a evaluator, as the experts in this particular field, we have to analyze that whether we should take this idea ahead or not. Right? So in that case, research is very important. So how research is connected to that? Now I'm going to that area. So when students come up with the projects, so at that time they have to analyze the markets. What is going on there? So to analyze the markets, there are some of the websites available. There are some of the literature available. So there are some experts who are available over there to whom they can talk and come up with some kind of case about whatever the idea that is coming up in their mind, whether they will be feasible or not. So this is how they validate it. Similarly with the startups. So startups also have to do some kind of market research before going ahead with the idea and all. It's very important. So this is how the research plays a very important role here.
How crucial do you think is the early stage research important to build the product as well?
It's very critical. It's very, very crucial. So as I told you, if I go to the statistics and all, so it has been observed that 90% of the startups, they fail in the first 5 years of their inception.
Yeah.
Right? So IBM reported was like that. So why this happens? One of the major reason of their failure is that the products or services that the startups make, they are not feasible for the customers. So they're not able to reach to the customers. Why they're not able to reach the customers? So similar the answer that I gave before also. That they feel that, okay, the idea that I'm feeling, this is like the idea which is the need of the people.
Yeah, with my problem is people's problem.
Yes, correct. So it's not like that.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that when you are launching your product into the market, you have to make that product scalable also.
Yes.
If you are getting first 100 customers or 200 customers, I'll say 500 customers, will that 500 customers pick up your business? Need more people, right? So for needing more people, you have to understand the idea of course. Whether this idea is better, it's good for the market, whether customers are going to, take my idea, take my product or not. For that, research is important. So if, for example, if I'm sitting here and I'm saying that, okay, I'll manufacture this circle, right? This poster, I'll start manufacturing it. This is because I find this is plastic and I want to develop something in sustainable material, right? So this is the idea that I'm coming up with. Now I have to do the research. Whether that sustainable poster is, whether I find some kind of customers over there in the market who will buy this from me. Okay, I'll develop the technology, I'll develop the idea, I'll develop the product and all. Then I'll start going and researching about client. It's not like that. You have to understand that. You have to search for the clients, you have to search for the market, you have to search for the statistics, you have to search for the potential team member also sometimes,
Yes.
who will be with you
Very
and help
important.
you, yeah, who will help you in developing this product. So that work has to be done before when the idea comes to your mind. So, if I give you one example of FirstWave, which is our one of the incubated startup, I can say that because that boy that came up with a gap. So it's very important to understand the gap. Gap is like what is not present in the market, which you can develop, right? And so you'll see that a lot of books are here. Okay, so when you read out these books, when you meet the people over there, all these things when you see, and you find out that there is some kind of gap that needs to be filled up, that needs to be worked on, right? So one of our student, he came up with the idea that he has seen some kind of problems over there that waste that we have,
Segregation, please.
that we have at
Yeah.
our home. So it is not segregated properly. Because what we do normally, our people or our municipality, they tell us that you should segregate the waste at your place. You should have 2 bins at your place so that the segregation becomes easy for the people. But many of the people, they don't do it, right? And here in India, it is mostly done manually, right? So people, they go and do it manually. Segregation of waste materials, plastics and biodegradable. So these wastage segregation is done. So he came up with this idea after, that this is the problem in the society where the waste segregation is a big issue, right? So we like his idea that, okay, it's a good thing that you should work on. But have you done any kind of research on this? Okay, how you are going to do this, and how you are going to approach the people, how you are going to, is there any kind of technology that you want to develop and all? So he came there. We had gone in, developing in doing the research, going to the market, asking people about it, then getting the people on board also. So his friends also joined him, and after that, he came up with the idea that I can develop one, conveyor belt and with the magnets and all, which can segregate those waste materials. Okay, and it was a kind of, conveyor belt kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we liked the idea and we supported him through some of our grants and all. And he is developing that idea on a very regular basis. He's coming and he's developing that prototype. So this is how you do it. Because now we are very sure that this person has done a proper market analysis where he has met the people, concerned people, where he knows where this product is going to be launched when this is fully developed. And we also understand that yes, this is the future where people are finding some kind of issues, and now there is a gap which this person can fill up.
Yeah.
Right? So this is how we support that projects in ideas.
So in this world right now, fast-pacing world, these new upcoming founders, they believe in build fast, fail fast mindset. Do you really think that research is being undervalued there?
So see, I don't think it is wrong to be fast-paced in this world, because when you are saying fast-paced, it's like you have to understand that when you want to work on some idea, today if I'm having some kind of idea and I want to work on that, after 4 to 5 years that idea might be, somebody else might start that working on that idea, and my thing that I wanted to discuss, I wanted to develop, that can be somebody's thing that he's developing already. If I keep on waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, so we also understand this thing. The time is very important. So time is also important for the product also. When you are putting your product in the market, you have to understand that whether that product has potential to be sold at that particular point or not. For example, this waste segregation machine that he is developing. Today, there is a demand for that machine.
Yes.
But if that guy, he will spend 7 to 8 years in developing that machine. So after 7 to 8 years, we might find different machines over there in the market already. And his market, capture the percentage will be less at that time.
Yes.
So we have to be fast-paced. It's not like we don't have to be. But having said that, research never makes your ideas going into the market or developing into the product. It will never slow down that process. I will say that it will make the process faster. How that is faster? When you spend your initial days in, researching about your idea and planning properly about your idea, how you're going to put up in the market, and doing the proper analysis that whether your idea is good enough or not. So that will save your time at a later stage. Today, without research, if I develop an idea and okay, I'll develop a prototype and all, and later on when I'm going to distribute into the market, I've got a selling and all, and it is not sold because people don't want it.
Yes.
So I did all the hard work in developing a product,
Yes.
and now I'm not able to sell it. So that is like to waste my whole time is wasted. So instead of that, if I spend my time initially into the market research proper, and after that putting my product into the market, and then I know how this is going to be in the market and how is the trend and all. So that will save a lot of time. So research never slows down your progress. It will always fasten up your ideas, or you going to the market and all. So that will always kind of a catalyst that can be real.
Completely agree with that. So building startups, all the things don't go as planned. We already have planned, but it doesn't really go that way. Markets change, circumstances change, whatever. And then these founders have to pivot from their initial ideas or have to drop some ideas. So now in this phase of, trying to drop an idea, how do you help them or advise them with adequate research, backing them with good research?
So I think it's very unfortunate and fortunate equally when you talk about that idea didn't work, or I did a lot of hard work into the idea, this product development, and it didn't work. So even for anybody, this is a very heartbreaking kind of
This is with your baby.
Yeah,
with your baby.
correct. So, but having said that, I will put up more focus on that. Startup founders should never feel that this is the end of the journey. So, if you are not doing something good in something, it's not like you are not good at all.
Yeah.
You might be made up for something else. So there is a pivot that we say. So pivot is also a kind of thing that comes after the trial in the market, right? That's also a research, I can say. When you put up your product into the market, and after 2 years or 1 year, you're feeling that my thing is not going well. Okay, my idea is not generating the revenues that I'm supposed to generate, and I should pivot it.
Yeah.
So actually, you should understand this thing that a whole journey of not getting any revenue from the idea that you were thinking that okay, this will give me revenue. That is also a research. That is also a kind of pilot that you did in the market, right? That's a kind of trial that you did. And now you know that this is not working. Now you started developing into something else. So pivoting is never bad. It's not at all bad.
Yeah.
We consider it as a very negative term, but I don't agree with that. That it's a very negative kind of thing. That okay, I started with something else, and I'm switching it to something else. It's not at all a negative word. It's a kind of positivity that comes after. Okay, I started something, it didn't work. Now I went into something else. So it's like that. So that gives you a kind of more of the experience of how you can place yourself into the market, what is required in the market.
Yeah.
So there are many serial entrepreneurs. Serial entrepreneurs, it's like they start with one venture, then they start with second, third, fourth. So if you see that if you go to the analysis, if you go with the statistics and all, so you will analyze, you will see that many of the founders who are one of the best founders these days. So they must be having some previous experience in ventures and all. So they were the failures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very important to analyze. So people learn by their failures more than from their successes. So that, right. So failure is something which needs to be from where your learning should come up. So this venture didn't work. Now, what is the thing that I understood? What are the things that I got from this failure? Then those failures, those learnings that you got from it, those you have to apply into your new image. So there is one more thing. Much an entrepreneur is always an entrepreneur. Yeah. So you cannot take an entrepreneurship from a founder's heart.
Yes.
Right? So I think that's very important. So again, it should never be a problem for the starting companies.
And so now in case of startups, what would be your recommendations in terms of some tools, techniques for them to actually start their research before launching a product or even develop a product for the market?
So it's very simple, I could say, because it's like when you are having an idea, the first thing that you should do is go to the market and talk to people. It's very important. And there is one more thing that I can say, that don't talk to your best friends. So they will always support you. Whatever you're thinking is good, yes, go for it. Come on. Always talk to the strangers. Okay. Talk to the strangers. Talk to them about your idea. What exactly you want to develop, and what is their feedback. Take their feedback. Sometimes it's like on the innovators I have seen, when we give them feedback and this will not work, so they take it very to the heart. Okay, no, this I will do it. So sometimes it's good. Many of the innovators, they come over from that also. They develop the same product which we had told that this will not work. So they come up with that. But many of the times, so positively, the feedback should be taken by the innovator. Right? Go to the experts. Go to the your friends, not friends exactly, 2-3 friends you can say, but later on go to the strangers who can give you the better, who will not have any kind of biasness while talking to you or giving you the feedback. That's very, very important.
Yes.
Second is, go to the literature also. If you are developing some technology or something like that, you can get some books about it. You can read you do some Google also. So these days ChatGPT is also there. So it will give you all the information, right? So you can think about it, and you can start searching about your ideas. You can do some kind of competitor analysis also. Competitor analysis is like who are the different ventures who are already doing some work in this area, right? So you can start doing by that also. So you can so there are different canvases, some kind of analysis and all that you can think about. So these are some of the tools and not tools exactly. I can say these are some of the areas where you can do some kind of research, where to find out whether your idea is good enough or not. Okay. Yeah.
Last question, what would your advice be for students who are starting their research, budding entrepreneurs, early stage startups? How should they start their research if they are feeling overwhelmed or unsure and don't have a clear path in front of them?
So I think research should be considered as one of the co-founder for a startup. When I'm saying co-founder, so co-founder normally helps you in taking your ideas or your startup ahead. So in my opinion, research will not make any product physically for you, but it will help you in developing that product, right? So it will help you a lot in developing that. So it will make you understand what needs to be made so that you can deploy that thing into the market. So this would be my first advice. Second is, research is something which will never make you feel alone. Okay. So, and it will also make you whatever the product or services that you want to develop. So research will always give you a kind of validation. Okay. That whatever you are developing, it's required in the market. It's required by the people, and it also gives you a kind of confidence, right? Because you can also always back up your things with that okay, this is what I have researched, this is what I have seen, this is what this book talks about, this is what the statistics all talks about, right? So this is what my own experience also sometimes becomes a research. Sometimes what happens is, like, somebody works in the corporate and he feels that okay, this is the problem in the corporate and this needs to be solved. right? Or corporate, or something in processes, in manufacturing, in product development. So they feel that this needs to be, there is some gap that needs to be filled up, right? So that also becomes a kind of, a kind of validation kind of a thing that you do,
Yeah.
right? So never feel alone. If you are feeling alone, go to the market, research about it. Take your research as your co-founder, and I think, and talk to the people. Whenever you have idea, talk to the people. Take as many feedbacks as you can. Talk to the experts. And the most important thing I can tell you is that come to Riddle Incubation Center, and we will help you, in getting the validation, in getting the things right done. Okay, to make that path very easy.
Yes. Thank you so much, Hal, for coming here today. It was great having a conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Soumya. And I think it was my pleasure to be a part of this podcast. I was able to talk about it, what I feel. Many of times we don't get that kind of time to where we feel that we should talk. We talk to the people. So we normally talk at the incubation center about it. But it's like connecting with many people as we can through this podcast. So thank you so much.
If you love this podcast, share it with someone who will actually benefit from it. Until next time, this was Real Ignite for you guys. Keep believing and keep building. Thank you so much.